I don't think anyone prepares you for how hard it is to keep a flat stomach after you turn 25. So I get asked a lot, how do I stay fit? What's my diet? What's my workout routine? And what if I told you all I do is run? No, I'm just kidding. I don't run. I want to give a bit of a backstory into me and my body. Growing up, I've always been really skinny, and I know now it's cute, it's trendy to be skinny, but it doesn't matter what year we're living in. Living in a Nigerian household, you are not allowed to be skinny, okay? The amount of, oh, you need to eat a sandwich, oh, you're looking so thin, oh, I can see your bones. Don't piss me off. So I've always had more of an athletic build to me. So I've always had a smaller waist, but also really narrow hips. So I kind of had more of a boxy shape to my body. I unfortunately wasn't blessed with the thick Nigerian genes. At the very least, I do have bigger boobs, but I fear a big butt did not come with that. So not only was I on the shorter side, because I'm about 5'3", I was also really skinny. I had big boobs and no butt. My body image issues were at an all-time low. So I wanted to bulk up and gain weight, and I started that around my junior year of college. So I ended up bulking for about 3 years, and I ended up gaining around 30 pounds. And let me tell you right now, that was not easy. The struggle of trying to gain weight as a skinny petite girl, don't even talk to me. So I ended up filling out in all the right places like I wanted to, but I did gain some fat, mainly in my stomach and in my face. At first, I wasn't really aware of how much bigger I had gotten. Like, I know I had gotten bigger because I had been bulking, but it didn't really dawn on me how much fat I had gained because I was wearing the exact same clothes that I was wearing when I was a lot smaller, and they technically still fit. So I just didn't really notice anything. I think my breaking point was when I had my friend take some pictures of me because I wanted to post some on Instagram. And when I looked at myself, truly, for the first time, I said, oh, why didn't anyone tell me I look like that? So it was at that exact moment that I decided to lean out and get smaller, and I'm gonna tell you how exactly I did that. One of the most important things anyone will ever tell you about getting your body right is that you have to maintain good eating habits. And most of the time that means less takeout and more cooking at home. But sometimes it can be hard to cook and meal prep all the time, especially if you have a really busy week. Which is why today's sponsor, Cook Unity, is a great way to stay on top of your nutrition goals without stressing yourself out. Cook Unity is a chef-to-you meal delivery platform that connects you with hundreds of fresh, fully prepped meals from award-winning chefs. I'm a person that gets tired of eating the same meals over and over again, which is why I have never been good at meal prepping. I always need variety. So I love using Cook Unity because there's over 400 meals to choose from each week, including over 45 diets and global cuisines. So if there's a specific diet that you're trying to follow, like vegan, high protein, or gluten-free, there's meal options for all of those. All the meals are made in small batches in local kitchens by you, so they're always fresh when they're delivered to you. So all you have to do is heat them up and they're ready to eat. I think my favorite meal this week has been the Ethiopian spiced chicken and egg. And at first I was a little bit scared because I love Ethiopian food and I'm very picky about where I get it from. First taste. Wait. That's actually so good. You can check out Cook Unity by clicking the link in my description or using the code Aishah50 to get 50% off your first order of freshly made meals delivered straight to you. 50% off your very first order is a really good deal, and I don't want y'all to miss out on it, so make sure to use my code Aishah50 to get it. And thanks again to Cook Unity for sponsoring today's video. There were some changes that I made to get my body to how it looked now, and I knew I wanted to be really intentional about it because I fear I'm not 16 anymore. I really didn't do anything too crazy. I just made little changes that wouldn't be too restrictive to me, because sometimes when you go about these things really intensely, it can create unhealthy habits. So I didn't weigh myself or calorie count or any of that stuff. Are you serious? My nail just broke. I don't even want to film this anymore. When it came to my eating habits, there were a couple of changes that I made, and one of the first things I did was change my sugar intake. I've never been much of a snacker, like chips, chocolate, like stuff like that. That's never really been my thing. However, candy was my kryptonite. I was always eating all kinds of candy, but it was never the ones that were, you know, super crunchy or anything like that. It was always gummy bears or fruit snacks or honestly anything the Sour Patch Kids, no, specifically the strawberry ones. I literally used to keep an entire bag in my car because I was afraid I was gonna eat the entire bag if I kept it in my house. Yeah, ever since I was little, candy has always been my go-to snack, and over a period of time into my adulthood, I just realized sugar made me incredibly bloated, especially in my face. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and say I completely cut out all sugar. I'm so sorry. I don't have it in me to do that. So I just found alternatives to help me curb my sweet tooth without making myself go insane. So I would snack on a couple of things. I would snack on grapes, I would snack on pears, I would even snack on rice cakes. Rice cakes has been probably one of my favorite snacks because it still feels, you know, artificially sugary, but there really isn't that much in it, specifically the caramel, those ones, and the chocolate ones. They're so good. I've also never really been much of a soda drinker or a juice drinker. At most, I would put juice in like my smoothies and stuff like that. So not having that much sugar and mostly drinking water made a crazy difference in my appearance. I also started eating a much smaller portion of carbs, specifically in my meals. I would say it was mostly 60% carbs, 40% protein, and then maybe like a little veggie on the side if I had enough energy to make it. Most of the time, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't. My go-to carbs would always be potatoes, rice, specifically jasmine rice. Once you go jasmine rice, you never go back. And I would also eat pasta every now and then, but pretty much any carbs that I was eating, I just made sure it was a lot smaller than what I was used to and made sure my protein was either at the same rate that it was or even more, just to make sure that I wouldn't get hungry again. I will say the thing that probably changed my body the fastest was having minimal oils and butters in my food. I would still put oils in my food every now and then because you do need some sort of healthy fats in your diet, but back then, anything I made, I would douse oil in it. Like I said, we're Nigerian. We don't just put oil in things, we fry oil in things. Making scrambled eggs, no. They're fried eggs. Making our stews, not only would we put canola oil, vegetable oil, we would also put palm oil up in that pot too. We were just eating oil with everything. So by default, I put oil in everything. Anytime I made fish, chicken, burgers, whatever, I would just put oil in everything. And like I said, I don't like to calorie count, but 1 tablespoon of oil is 120 calories. And Lord knows I was going way beyond that. I would probably put 5 tablespoons of oil in anything that I used. So it was no wonder that eventually it just made me a lot bigger than I wanted to be. So instead of putting oils and butters, I instead would use like the Pam spray, specifically the olive oil Pam spray. Overall, I found that to be a really good alternative and it made my food taste the same, if not sometimes better. When it came to my protein, I only ate lean meats with very little fat. I completely cut out red meat, and if I did eat red meat, they would be very lean meats. So in specifically my culture, we eat a lot of, goat meat, and we like cut off all the fat on it. So I would eat that every now and then. Or if I was making maybe like a beef bulgogi dish, I would take like a really thin steak, cut off all the fat, cut it up into small little slices, and that way it just didn't have that much fat. So, but for the most part, I was only eating lean meats and white meat. So I was eating a lot of chicken, shrimp, ground turkey, specifically ground turkey that was about 93% lean and 7% fat. There was one time I tried 99% lean. That tasted terrible. So yeah, I was always eating chicken, fish, specifically salmon, ground turkey, shrimp, turkey burgers. Don't underestimate a good turkey burger. I'm not even a burger person like that, but I will eat up a turkey burger every single time. It's so good, especially with some sweet potato fries in the air fryer. I'll choose it every single time. As far as lifestyle habits, there were some changes that I made to that. The biggest one and the most obvious one is obviously consistency in the gym. Am I personally consistent? Depends on my mood that week. I do mostly weightlifting, so I do a lot of leg days, I do a lot of back days. Cardio, I don't like cardio, and by cardio I really mean anything with machinery that's gonna make me huff and puff. I live in Texas, so I drive pretty much everywhere that I go. It's very rare that I'm walking somewhere, and when it comes to walking, I don't mind it as a form of transportation, but I hate it. I absolutely hate it for leisure purposes. When someone asks me, hey, let's go on a walk for fun, my answer is always going to be no. I don't care how dire the situation is. I don't care if I'm running late or I'm about to miss my flight. I'm still not gonna run to wherever it is that I'm going. I'll walk with a purpose, but running, never that. But one thing I love to do is to dance or to even go out dancing. One of the first things I do when I get up in the morning is open my blinds and play one of my playlists or play one of my favorite artists and dance in my room for a solid 5 to 10 minutes. It really just starts my day off right. And when I'm going out at night to the club or something like that, I avoid sections like the plague. I am not a section girly. I really love being in Gen Pop because that's where all the dances are at. I'm never sitting or standing still in the club or sitting down on a couch on my phone. That's loser behavior. I've also minimized my consumption of alcohol. I'm barely a social drinker at best. I've never really been the type of person to just have a wine after a long day or even have alcohol in my apartment. So when I'm going out, it's very rare that I drink alcohol. And if I do, it's at most one mixed drink. I also don't like mixed drinks because I don't like sipping on the same thing for a prolonged period of time. So maybe a shot or two, and if it is a shot, I do a lemon drop shot. Alcohol in general just makes you feel really bloated and sluggish, so cutting it out or just having it very little will do wonders for your body. And don't listen to those that say that you can't have fun without alcohol. As long as the music is right, you're feeling yourself, and you're surrounded by people with good energy, going out will always be a fun time. Just making these tiny changes in my diet and my lifestyle made such a drastic difference in how I looked. When I think about how I looked literally this time last year, I find it insane how different I looked and how different I even felt. Because now I feel so much more confident, I have more energy, I feel so good when I'm wearing my cute fits out and about. I really just be strutting down the streets now. And that's a feeling that I always want to have for myself, and everyone should feel for themselves. Genetics do play a big part as to how your body will look even after having a healthy diet and regularly exercising. So even if you do all of the things that I did, it's not a guarantee that your results are going to be the exact same results as me, because we all have different genetics. But you still will objectively get leaner and you'll just be healthy. Anyways, I'm gonna go now and have one of the meals that I have in my fridge because I'm too lazy to make lunch right now. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and also follow me on Instagram and TikTok. All of my links to those will be down below in the description or somewhere in my bio. I really hope this video helped anyone just trying to change their body and just change how they feel about themselves. I really hoped I helped in any kind of way. But yeah, I will see you all next time.